Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Ruthless. Grief-stricken relatives are still trying to determine what led to the machete attack on a married couple in Broxton Town, St. Catherine on Thursday, which left the wife dead and husband with life-threatening wounds. The deceased has been identified as 63-year-old Myrdelyn Sullivan. Her husband, who remains unidentified for safety, was treated at hospital and released. Reports from the Linstead police indicated that the attacker, armed with a machete, invaded the couple's house about 1 a.m. and attacked them. The police said Myrdelyn and her husband were sleeping when they were heard a sound outside, and her husband decided to make some checks. The husband was allegedly attacked and received injuries to his face. He raised an alarm and the perpetrator escaped. His wife was later found inside her house with chop wounds all over her body. Both were assisted to hospital, where Myrdelyn was pronounced dead, the police report stated. Investigation into the attack are ongoing. When reporters visited the couple's home on Thursday, bloodstain on buckets and pans in the yard and on the bedsheet inside the house pointed to a vicious attack. Relatives, including Sullivan's granddaughter, were in tears and hugged each other for comfort. They, along with residents and police, had converged on the bloody crime scene. Myrdelyn, who is the mother of 9 children, 2 of whom are deceased, was described by her children as a jovial woman. Her children stressed that she was always busy doing domestic work and helping her husband burn charcoal for sale. One of Sullivan's daughter, who gave her name as Wendy, reported that she believed the couple was robbed. "Me think it's somebody did a try to rob them. My mother is a loving woman. Me no know who would a want harm her. If you come to her house, she's offering you something to drink. That's how she stay. She no trouble nobody. Me no know her as no troublemaker or somebody we miserable. If she's sick, more than know, but this date here too hot. Me head a kill me," the distraught daughter lamented. "She was just a nice woman," another daughter, Patricia Taylor, added. Meanwhile, Myrdelyn's son-in-law, who opted not to be named, said he had been planning to take her grandchildren to visit her on Thursday, but he caught the call about her death in the wee hours of the morning. "I spoke to her on Tuesday to tell her I was taking the kids to see her, but I didn't get the chance because my business didn't have sufficient workers, so I couldn't leave. I told her I would be coming today. She is a very jovial woman. This is just sad," he said. The nephew of the husband corroborated the story. He also pointed out that he didn't believe the killing had been motivated by a domestic dispute. "The man nice and quiet. Him no in a no violent thing. Knowing him, me highly doubt that," said the nephew, who also did not wish to be named. Big gun seizure. 2 days after Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson told the country that the strategies and intelligence gathering capabilities being utilized by the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF are bearing fruit, law enforcers on Thursday seized 13 illegal firearms, including 10 high-powered rifles, from criminals. In what the police described as a targeted operation in a gated community in Trelawney, a man identified as 36-year-old ex-convict Kevin Carpenter of Florence Hall and Cornwall Street, Falmouth in Trelawney, was shot dead and more than 500 rounds of ammunition seized. Additionally, the police reported that 3 men who have been wanted in western Jamaica were recently captured. A senior investigator reported that the guns and ammunition seizure has put a major dent in the thriving gun-running operation in western Jamaica. The police also say a woman has been taken into custody in connection with the capture of the arms cartridge among the 10 high-powered rifles and 2 AK-47, 3 M16s, and 5 AR-15s. 2 submachine guns and a pistol are included in the seizure arsenal. According to Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP Dela Garrick, who is assigned to the JCF Corporate Communications Unit, Carpenter was a top-tier member of the Compound Gang based in Trelawney. He was released from prison in 2018 after serving a sentence for a shooting. Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 1 Police Division, Clifford Chambers, disclosed that Carpenter is related to a Westmoreland gang leader who was arrested and charged with murder, but was granted bail and instructed to stay outside of Westmoreland. Chambers said the address that the gangster gave on securing bail was Carpenter's home in Florence Hall, Trelawney. Investigators continue to gather evidence related to other serious crimes as we speak, Chambers reported. Meanwhile, DSP Garrick reported that the operation, which led to the fatal shooting and the subsequent recovery of the weapons, commenced about 11:30 a.m. and was a joint effort between Area 2 Fugitive Apprehensive Team and the Trelawney Police. This gun find is definitely a part of an ongoing investigation, with aspects of it being transnational. We will be looking at all leads in this matter, Garrick reported. She added that the operation formed part of the initiative announced by a police commissioner under what the JTF will be focusing on: guns, gangs, and gunmen. We are asking Jamaicans to continue to give us your support, share information that you know, information about this case or any other case, guns and gunmen. Let's partner and make safer communities, Garrick appealed. Meanwhile, Commissioner Anderson also appealed to residents of swanky neighborhoods to report suspicious activities to the police. This is a continuation of our ongoing clampdown on guns, gunmen, and gangs. Gunmen are moving uptown, they are acquiring wealth, and are living in gated communities. This is why it is important for persons, even in upscale communities, who see strange activities or persons, to provide information to the police. Even with our improving intelligence capabilities, we need your help to find them, General Anderson stated. We can also confirm that in recent days, 3 of Western Jamaica's most wanted are now in custody to be charged for various offenses, the commissioner revealed. This gun violence problem is not an inner city problem, it's a national problem. We will continue our crackdowns on these gangsters who seek to cause death, mayhem, and pain in our country, Anderson said, reiterating comments he made at his news conference on Tuesday this week. Our strategies are focused on guns and the removal of guns from the hands of murderers. The members of the JCF have been extending themselves without break since last year because we had an increase in murders. Murders are 72% gang-related and 19% interpersonal. About 5 to 7% came as a result of some other criminal activities, General Anderson told journalists at the virtual news conference. We spend a lot of resources and a lot of effort is placed on actually stopping killers from killing each other and their families and associates, and we must continue that. But we also have a range of responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. I want people to understand the context in which the JCF and the Jamaica Defense Force operate: death, mayhem, and pain, he said. Last month, the police seized 88 guns, including 13 rifles and 59 pistols. 13 rifles is the most we have seized in the month of January since before 2011. We have also seized 59 pistols, which amount to an overall 17% increase in firearms seizure, Anderson had reported on Tuesday. Labour pains. Supporters of governing Jamaica Labour Party JLP in St. Ann Northeastern on Thursday padlocked the constituency office and dumped multiple T-shirts bearing the image of their Member of Parliament MP, Marsha Simit, whom they want to quit politically and elected post. At the crackdown, the group of about 100 descended on the constituency office in St. Anne's Bay and padlocked the grill located at the entrance out to the building, leaving the 3 office staff with nowhere to go to work. One of the employees at the constituency office, a senior citizen employed for over 20 years, spent the workday on a stool in the shade of a nearby building, her lips sealed to relation to the heated protests outgrown her. The residents accused Simit of not being cordial, and councillors present said she does not visit the constituency enough or address major issues such as deplorable roads. The protesters also claim the MP has launched a broadside against constituents who occupied land illegally in St. Ann Northeastern. To solidify their stand, the demonstrators discarded and trampled on a number of green T-shirts, the same ones they wore proudly in support of Simit when she won the constituency in 2020 general election. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force kept a close eye on the happening, which protesters threatened to resume if Simit does not budge. Simit was chosen by the Jamaica Labour Party to contest the 2020 election after the previous MP Shiny Robinson died on May 29, 2020 after a prolonged illness. She was 66 years old. Robinson had scored an upset-up victory in the traditional People's National Party seat in the 2001 by-election and had held it until her passing. On Thursday, the irritated constituents argued that in addition to their complaints, no one knows or is familiar with Smith. Three-quarters of the people who vote for Smith in 2020 never know her. Them just vote for her because of Shine and the GLP, said Melody Roden, a resident of the St. Anne's Bay division. She asserted that more than a year after the election, Smith is yet to make herself better known to the constituents. Roden, like other placard bearers protesters, said the late Robinson was the epitome of a good MP. The protesters donned T-shirts with Robinson's image and mounted a life-size image of her at the front of the constituency office. If Marcia Smith can't fill the shoes of Miss Robinson, she should at least do something, make people see her, Roden insisted. We need proper representation. From Marcia win is about 3 times she come in the constituency office. We need road. Look at the condition of St. Anne's Bay Police Station. We have a lot of issues in northeastern St. Anne. Marcia should not stay in Parliament and get comfortable because, if and when we're ready, we shall turn this seat over to the People's National Party, and that is what we no want to do. Jennifer Burgess, another protester, opined that the benefit of having Smith as MP has not been manifesting in the GLP standhole of Steertown where she lives. The Steertown CDC Community Development Committee cannot get any benefit. The old shut-in people cannot get any benefit, and the children going to school who need the benefit most of all cannot get any support, Burgess claimed. Shine Robinson turned in her graves because Shine supported everybody. Smith is not supporting anybody, and we need her to go with immediate effect. We need the JLP leader and Prime Minister Andrew Holness to come down here because they were the ones that handpicked Smith to represent the JLP, and that is unfair to us. Everybody down here are suffer and no help we now get. Ask who they would like to see replace Smith as JLP representatives. Some supporters mentioned Lisa March and Councillor Geneva Garden Bailey of the Limehall division. However, the majority of them declined to give a name, adding that their only wish is for democracy to reign within the JLP regarding candidate selection. In addition to being MP, Smith is an attorney at law as well as a minister of the state in the Ministry of Finance and Public Service. Her father, Ernest Smith, is the late former JLP parliamentarian who carved to similar protests in the twilight of his political career. No response has been forthcoming from Smith, and several calls made to her phone number rang without answer. Harry Watch Primary School to get smart computer lab. The Harry Watch Primary School in Manchester is to be outfitted with a smart computer lab that will provide students with access to information and communication technology (ICT) in a structured learning environment to better prepare them for a digital future. The new lab, which is being funded by the Digital Foundation at a cost of US $55,000, will be equipped with 12 laptops and tablets, a printer, and a Mir Teach interactive whiteboard. It is estimated to be completed by May. Addressing the signing ceremony for the establishment at the facility at the Ministry of Education and Youth in Kingston on Wednesday, Education Minister Favour Williams commented the Digital Foundation on the undertaking. She noted that the project is in keeping with the government's vision of developing our children to their fullest potential, regardless of their social and economic backgrounds. Education of our children is a national project in which we all should be involved. We always welcome collaboration and partnership agreements with corporate Jamaica, she said. We know that this is so important as we continue our efforts to close the digital divide and enhance children across this island to be properly prepared for our contemporary society. Collectively, we must continue to do all that we can to ensure that our children will acquire a good foundation that will enable them to perform with confidence in our digital age, Williams added. CEO of the Digital Foundation, Charmaine Daniels, said that next over 3 years, the foundation will work with the ministry to target other rural primary schools for the implementation of similar smart facilities. The Anchovy Primary School in St. James is the next institution to benefit from a new smart computer lab from the foundation. The pandemic has really accelerated the need for connectivity, and I don't see it going anywhere in the near future. I think this is the way the world is going, and I think this is where we need to get our children, she said. We will continue to invest heavily in the education sector, Daniels pledged. Principal of Harrowatch Primary Fitzroy Francis, in his remarks, said that the partnership will help in transforming the institution into a fully equipped smart school. The students in particular are also very excited. It's a deep rural school located in a deeply rural community, and most of the students there do not have connectivity. So this will bring about not only devices and so on, but especially internet connectivity for the school and the community, Francis stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.